They replaced the back and start buttons with view and menu.
Does anyone have the start button anymore?
Well,
Wait,
here's
does
the
the PS4
thing.
have it?
Well, let's think about this. The only time you really use the start button nowadays is you don't really pause games that often. It just puts you in a menu. And if you're multiplayer, you don't pause the multiplayer. You put yourself in a menu. Or you press start at the intro to the game. So instead of saying press start, it'll say press menu. So it's really start and the D-pad. Like if you look at the original NES controller, okay, D-pad, select, start, A, B. The only part of that controller that's not outdated is A and B. That's it. Everything else is outdated.
That's
So
actually what they were talking about at WrestleMania when it was the end of an era. It was
yeah,
actually two controllers wrestling
yeah, exactly.
for control of the start button.
Yeah, it is kind of the end of an era because now it makes sense though because if you look at the whole view menu, it's going to be able to be during anything. So if you're playing Call of Duty and you press menu, it's going to put you wherever the developer wants your menu to be right then. So it could be during the game, but if you're watching Netflix and you press menu, it'll actually pop up your Netflix menu. Or if you're highlighting something and you press view, it's supposed to let you view it. So I think it's interesting, and like Aeon Tech said earlier, they're putting a lot of stuff in the developers' hands. So hopefully the developers really take off with this technology and use it to the fullest. Any thoughts on the view menu, Bootans?
We'll have to wait and see more on it. I mean, they haven't really said anything on it yet, so we'll have to see it in
No,
action.
they only show off the voice commands.
Yeah.
All right. The other thing is this I thought was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. So he called them the XBAY buttons. It says they are triple shot buttons. And I thought to myself, what does triple shot mean? And it's apparently they use 3 different kinds of plastic in each button to make them better suited, better contour and better feel and better response. And I mean, unless I really see an amazing difference in responsiveness, I'm just gonna laugh and I'm always gonna call them the triple cum shot buttons. I don't see the point in naming the XBAY buttons like something proprietary. They also apparently made the XBAY buttons slightly closer together so that it's easier to go in between them.
That's good.
Or if you have fat fingers, it's easy to hit multiple buttons by accident.
Hell yeah.
Anytime I hear triple shot, I just think of work, so not about that life.
Coffee.
Coffee.
Okay, the last thing that is also fantastical. I don't know if any of you guys have ever played with a wired Xbox controller.
I have one.
I have one as well, and I love it.
Mine's expensive.
Hey, fuck off. Mine was free. No, I really like the fact that there's no battery thing on the back. And apparently now the battery is not going to stick out like a sore thumb like it did before. It's going to now be on the inside of the controller itself. So you don't have to feel the big bulky bastard in the back.
Next generation Xbox getting on board with
the original Game Boy.
Yeah.
Any happiness or sadness or indifference about the battery?
I use
I have to spend $20 now.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was going to be built in like the PlayStation 3 because my DualShock controllers, the battery's been fine and I've had it for years. And they recharge no problem.
That's really all the major... They claim, by the way, everybody, that there is 40 new changes to the controller. So
vibrations differently. We'll see about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it's going to be. Like, if you put it on your taint, it puts money in your savings account. I don't know what the addition is going to be, but, we'll find out. All right, going into the look of the system. Pinup had an amazingly hilarious thing before we actually started recording this, guys. So go ahead, Pinup. How do you feel about the way it looks?
I think my door, it would keep my door open well. I think I could just wedge it between my door jambs to keep the nice breeze coming in. It looks like a PlayStation. If I'm going to buy a PlayStation, I will buy a PlayStation that looks just like this.
Yep. Any other thoughts? Anybody else?
I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, it's really plain.
Half of the top is vents.
Yeah,
It
because
needs to be.
they don't want the same problem they had with the launch of the 360, where some of them died the same day they purchased them because of overheating issues. So
It is Microsoft.
yeah, so I mean,
And didn't-
hopefully,
What was the other problem? Wasn't it soldering on one of the chips or something like that?
the overheating
Would melt it.
would melt the solder, and one of the main chips for the operating system would go, and then you had a giant paperweight of a system. So I think I think the size of it is pretty hefty. It looks to be a little bit bigger than the 360 is now. And I saw a size comparison video of a guy who had a book that was about 13 inches wide. And he put it up next to the system, and it was about the exact same size. So it looks to be about 13 inches wide and maybe a little bit taller than the 360 is now. So it's a little bit heftier of a system, but I think it's because they don't want any overheating issues at all, because that was the big fuck up at the launch of the 360. What do you guys think?
Good.
Aeon, anything?
I mean, seems like they've learned from their past. The overall design, I mean, I'm not too big on it. Like, I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but
It's
it looks
boring.
weird.
It's
I think
boring.
it's funny after they trolled PlayStation for not showing their system, they release one that is not visually.
Aesthetic. It doesn't even look like yay. I don't know. I think it was confusing that there's no, like, their whole thing was Xbox. They're green from day one, from the original Xbox. There's no green. They even went green white when it came to the 360. So I thought maybe they
Just
were
like
gonna
black
go
and silver.
right. It was black. It looks like, Pinup said, it looks like a PlayStation. It looks super plain, just black. Chrome.
I get the job done.
Right. I don't know. I hope that they have some customization, because the 360 does have some custom shells and things like that. I really hope that there's some kind of customization to the system to
If
where
you
I can.
bought a skin for the system, you'd probably smother it and kill it. The skins will only cover half of it, if there's anything. So I think you'd be better off just buying some acrylic paint and just decorating the top half.
Just break out the spray paint. Maybe. Joe Money.
It looks huge, so I wonder if the power supply this time is going to be built in rather than having a big giant brick like the current 360.
Yeah.
Because PlayStation 3 doesn't have a brick; it's all
I
built
think
in there.
I think the current the slim Xbox 360, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have a power supply. I think it's just a.
It does. It's smaller than the original one, but it still does have one. Yeah.
Ooh, shit. No, I'm just playing.
Glad someone knows what they're talking about.
Oh, because I have one. That's the only reason why.
I have one
know.
too, but I can't see
Yeah.
mine from where I'm sitting.
Oh.
And he doesn't remember, because when we hooked it up, we didn't look at anything. We just plugged it in. All right. Okay. And closing out our list of shiznat that we're going to be talking about this is almost laughable to me. The known titles for the system.
Call of Duty, woo!
Yeah. So we'll save that for last, like they did. Earlier, Aeon Tech was talking about there are 15 apparent exclusives for this system. And Aeon Tech had Shuffle mentioned earlier, had a very amazing point that 14 of these are probably Kinect titles. Kinect Adventures Xbox One Edition. Like they did Wii Sports, and then they did Wii Sports Resort. It's different, but not.
Well, they said they're gonna do out of the 15, they're all exclusive IPs, but 8 of them are gonna be completely brand new. So out of those 8, we're suspecting that the general bet has been like 3 to 4 are gonna be just whatever Kinect titles.
Extreme Dodgeball. Oh, fuck
That
yeah.
actually sounds kind of fun. I would play dodgeball on a Kinect.
God, you're a
We could play
sad-
dodgeball.
Why don't we just play dodgeball outside? Oh wait, Shuffle
Scare
would get
Sports
broken.
Quarterly.
Oh yeah. OSQ.
The OSQ.
Oh man, dodgeball references, people. Sorry.
So the 3 titles that they did reveal at the reveal event, the first one was
Quantum Break. Yes, Quantum Break.
no, the first game that was shown was the new Forza.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Go figure.
I never
Forza
heard about
5.
Forza. I never heard about Forza until 3.
Really?
Shows how much I care.
Well, you're not into racing games. That makes sense. When we were talking about Drive Club for PS4, you started talking about club sandwiches, Enjoy a Lot Club, and book clubs, right?
I just did Club Sandwich.
Oh, well, no, we went on a little tangent. It was adorable.
No, but
Go watch it,
the only one
guys.
I mentioned.
Oh, okay. Um, so yeah, Forza. The graphics looked fucking amazing, but it's just a racing game to me. I don't
We don't
see.
know how much that's actual gameplay
Yeah,
or
Right,
cutscenes.
right. So I mean, hopefully, it's not just racing from point A to point B and that's it. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's going to be like a little bit of customization and unlocking cars and things like that. But I hope that there's more to it than that, because if not, Drive Club from on the PS4 is going to shit on it. Anyone else? Joey Chestnut?
Oh, not really. I'm just surprised. This is off topic, but I'm surprised Gran Turismo 6 is for PS3. Now, I'm surprised they didn't push it back for PS4.
Yeah, dumb
Yeah.
move on Sony's part.
Yeah.
Pinup, Tech Aeon.
I don't play those games. I don't play racing games, and I don't play the ESPN games. So none of that appealed to
Wait,
me.
you don't play Mario Kart? That's a racing game.
I understand that. I really don't. Nope.
I'm thinking of fighting you. Mario Kart's amazing. It's the only good
With
racing game.
beers, with beers. I really don't. I mean, like, I'm playing game. I'm all over the map. I go from Call of Duty to Bioshock to Red Dead to I mean, like, literally anything. I'm still in the process of finishing Borderlands. I've also got to finish Dead Space. I mean, I'm with everything, but like I said, the
She
games.
likes shooting.
I
There's
was gonna
guns
say
in every
every
one of those
game
games.
I have
is
guns. So
shooting.
don't fuck with me. I'm just saying that, like, the games they showed, it really didn't appeal to me. The only thing it did was Call of Duty. Go
Right.
figure.
So we went over Forza 5, which, okay, cool, racing game. After that, they announced a game called Quantum Break, which is by a developer called Remedy, who did the original Max Payne and Alan Wake. Um, I don't quite get what the game's about at all. It looks like, they have some real life storyline going on, and then like this girl touches this woman's ear, and then it shows Xbox One graphics of a boat crashing into a bridge. I didn't quite gather it.
It was an interesting mix of live action and
Right.
like animation, but I mean, from what
I'm
we
looking it
saw,
up now.
yeah,
It didn't really show us anything.
yeah.
Like I'm looking it up now, and I still don't see a lot. Everything shows those live cutscenes, and then like a title card
Yeah.
and one other thing. So it's not. I don't.
There was
I don't
nothing. That's why you're not finding anything. Is because there was
know.
nothing.
Yeah, it just made no sense. And then of course the 38 sports titles that are coming out: FIFA 11, Madden 36, uh, what NBA Live was the other
FIFA
one.
11's getting re-released.
Yeah, FIFA.
Is,
I
isn't
mean,
it?
like,
Isn't this year the 25th anniversary of Madden?
yes, it'll be Madden 25. They said the only other difference I saw is that they had FIFA 14 is going to have Ultimate Team, which is apparently Xbox exclusive. EA also said, or EA Sports, I should say, um, said they're going to have a special relationship with the Xbox One, and that sounded kind of sexual.
We're gonna sleep in the same bed.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say because previous FIFAs have had Ultimate Team. Ultimate Team has permeated through pretty much all of EA Sports games in the past like 3-4 years. So I don't know exactly what they mean by that because this should already have Ultimate Team.
right.
Either that or Sony took their lunch money, so they're not giving them Ultimate Team.
Yeah, something. Um, and the other one was UFC, which Shuffle and Antec know I hate the current UFC. So
I hate the current UFC games. They got nominated or like called the best fighting game
when
or
it's
whatever, like
not
UFC 10.
really,
It's the yeah. It's like you have
it should be under a sports game because it's not a
yeah.
fighting game. Street Fighter is a fighting game.
The one thing that I'm personally sad about is that out of all those EA titles that were mentioned, I did not see NHL.
NHL. Yeah.
I remember you saying that too.
Which I mean, they might just be waiting till next year to really do something with the brand new
Probably.
engine, but I still want my next gen hockey.
It'll probably happen.
It will.
There's-
It'll definitely happen.
um,
Then the third game, which made me laugh because it's not even an exclusive. It's really just a Alright guys, it's the first time anyone's seeing it, it just happens to so be during the Xbox reveal, was Call of Duty Ghosts. Not Modern Warfare 4, but Call
Yeah.
of Duty
StarCraft
Ghosts.
Ghost, Call of Duty Ghosts.
And I'm gonna let Snipe explain it since he is he's the Call of Duty guy.
So, okay. Call of Duty Ghosts graphically looked really, really good. They did like a side-by-side comparison of Modern Warfare 3 to Call of Duty Ghosts, and like I said earlier, the graphical power and the graphics they showed on the Xbox One honestly looked as good or better to me than the PS4, but you haven't really seen the full potential of both systems yet. Yeah, the graphics looked awesome. They did a lot of comparisons, like Captain Price, and then a character in the game, and they showed hairy arms that looked like mine and Shuffles.
They
And
really look like Shuffles.
right, it was pretty
They were
accurate. It looks
skinny
like
and hairy
in a silverback
Yeah.
gorilla kind of way.
That's
and
all it
then,
was. It was just a gorilla in a
Yeah.
army uniform.
Yeah. And then they showed a Navy SEAL dog, which the Navy SEAL dog looked freaking awesome. Like all the way down to the scars on its nose, the tattoo in its ear, and for the arms, it showed the bleeding and the cuts and the bruises on the hand a lot more, like super in depth. So the graphics look really cool. For Call of Duty, what I was excited about is as far as the single player goes, they're trying to a more in-depth story. They're really trying to make you connect to the characters. I really like that. I really like that they're trying to make you connect with the characters more, which is a good thing for single player. For multiplayer, the things I really liked is they're actually trying to change the engine of the game. They actually said they made a new engine to drive the game forward. So apparently you're going to be able to lean around corners. They're adding that. They're adding the fact that something Battlefield has already had, where you're going to be able to like parkour over things with momentum. But the momentum is a big part of the engine, is what they were saying. So, if you're running over something as opposed to walking over something, you're going to move differently. I like that. They had very interactive maps. So you will actually be able to, we'll say that you're on a level where you're at a lumber mill and there's a bunch of logs. You can shoot the things and the logs will fall down and kill a bunch of people. Interactive maps is actually a really good addition. I hope that they add a little more destruction, like Battlefield, to the game, but we'll see. I know that Potato Joe over here wants voice commands for the dog, and actually they said that they're going to have voice commands for the dog. So I think that's going to be pretty badass for the single player. And the last thing for the multiplayer I liked is the way they're kind of packaging it all together. They want to make a big drastic change because Call of Duty, Activision, Infinity Ward, they know that Call of Duty is getting incredibly fucking stale. It's becoming like Madden. It's basically roster update Call of Duty, and it just changes three small things, and then makes a couple new maps. Because what drives those games is the multiplayer. So they need to make the multiplayer completely fucking bananas and different in this one. And so far, I like the things that they said. And Pinup is the local Call of Duty girl, so I want to see what you have to say about it.
I know they couldn't show a lot of gameplay. I really wish they did because, and I know that's going to be more like E3, but they can butter up the whole fact of what it looks like. I mean, it looks great. To be completely honest, like I am a huge Call of Duty fan, Xbox fan. I'm going with PC more for graphic wise. Like I really was not that impressed with graphic wise when it came to, I guess, some of the looks for it. Like I said, if it was more gameplay, yeah, I want to see a little more of it. But I'm going towards PC for graphic.
Well, the thing is with and it was funny, like the very, very last thing that they even showed in the entire presentation was they're like, and now, world exclusive gameplay from Call of Duty Ghosts. And it was all like, not pre-rendered, because nothing in Call of Duty is really like pre-rendered, but it wasn't like it didn't show the heads up, didn't show like you as the character, it just showed like people talking, and it didn't show like real gameplay. And and that's kind of I'm assuming that's kind of what you're getting at. It's
Well,
the fact
everyone thinks that the game needs to be afoot.
they didn't show the gameplay, so everyone's disappointed.
So everyone knows in our Skype call, local pinup told someone to talk like Sean Connery, so we felt obligated to oblige.
We've been typing to each other during this whole thing, so
You've probably
yeah.
heard tick-ticks every now and then.
Sorry,
That's what that is.
trying to have some fun. Even more fun than we're having with recording.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So yeah, any other thoughts from Chef Master Flash or
Everyone's.
KRS-One Joe?
I think we'll just go around just everyone's just final overall thoughts and
let's do
opinions
that.
on everything.
Joe, the notorious Joe from Brooklyn, New York. What do you have to say?
About the Call of Duty or everything?
No, just everything.
Your
Total.
general opinion.
Disappointed because I thought they'd just take everything that Sony did and copy it and expand on it, but they didn't do that. And they did all these things that make everyone upset, like the used game situation, and yeah.
Shuffle.
I'm surprised at just how hard it flopped. I mean, like so far, because after I saw the PS4 reveal or whatever, and I watched it and we talked about it and stuff like that, I got excited for Xbox. I was like, there is no way they can screw this up. And then they come out and screw it up somehow. So I'm in shock still. And it's, for me, gaming is about games, obviously, and that's what these consoles are about. And at this point in time, the PS4 or the PC have my vote, and especially with how capturing stuff works, because video games are my hobby, videos are my hobby. I like to edit and stuff like that. So if I have to go with the PS4 to do it, I'm okay with it. And PlayStation doesn't get as many exclusives as Xbox, but they have had some good ones in the past, so I'm not really too worried about switching back. But as of right now, I am I think fear has been the general feeling. So I'm scared for the new Xbox, and I'm at this point not really impressed.
Yeah. Tech of the Aeon one take.
So basically, I mean, as can you guys kind of tell throughout the this video or this discussion is disappointed is the main word. I mean, here I thought if you look at the PS4 reveal, they came out guns blazing. They straight up, they got to the point. This is what we're improving. This is how it looks. This is how it's going to affect your gameplay. And they were very game-centric and very, very exciting. I was kind of juiced for the PS4. And as having Xbox be that console last generation, I expected them to come out with bigger and better stuff. I expected, I mean, hell, they kind of half showed 2 games, and then they showed Call of Duty, which, like I said, is not even like their game. It's not even exclusive, and they pushed back their reveal a month after the PS4, just so PS4 can have theirs, so they can kind of see what the opposition was doing. And the fact that they came out with honestly a half-assed reveal really kind of is frustrating. And now they've already, I mean, yesterday, Sony's stock, like their stock prices in the stock market, Sony's stock rose 9% yesterday, because or the day of the reveal, because of how disappointed and how scared people are for the future of Xbox. One thing also that we never mentioned throughout this video, I had a couple chances to, but I never did, is that Phil Harrison, I want to say president or vice president of Xbox or Microsoft. No, I think just Xbox. I'm not sure. Phil Harrison, look him up. He was the one that was talking about the having to pay the full game price for the used games, and also the 24-hour connectivity. And yeah, as we were talking about, it's basically DRM. But Microsoft has already started doing damage control, saying that, oh, we're still finalizing our policies, and what he said was just a scenario, and it's not something that's been confirmed. Somehow, the president or vice president of your company saying something doesn't confirm it. I don't know how that works, but they have I'm gonna say about 6 months. We have to assume it's gonna come out sometime around the holidays, around November-ish,
It's going to be November because they want to keep up with the PS4.
basically.
And Call of Duty's release is what I'm assuming.
Yep, is also November already.
So they have approximately 5 months or so to listen to feedback because it's coming at them from all angles. People are uh, pissed off. People are worried. People are scared of the future of Xbox, and um, I don't know. Like I said earlier, a lot of people seem to be they're going to be flocking towards PC gaming or possibly even the PS4. There's so many people that, as of this moment, and yes, it's still early, but there's so many people that just aren't digging the Xbox One. So it's really up to Microsoft to try to make this right with their community. Otherwise, they're not going to have one. It's pretty much. I mean, it's bleak. It's obviously pretty bleak, but that's the honest truth.
Pinup of Doom.
You pretty much summed it up. I seriously, like I said, I know it's just a quick, brief review of it, and hopefully more details, better details come. But looking at this point, like I seriously think I'm gonna stick to my Xbox 360 and actually possibly look into buying a new PlayStation. Why the hell not? I already got two of their consoles, and I'm not too enticed with a new one. So why not branch off to another console and try that out?
Yeah. For me, personally, I'm kind of teetering because I do have a lot of faith in Microsoft as a company. And they did do really well by the gamers for the 360. So for me, what I think the selling point is going to be, because like Shuffle said earlier, all these are going to end up being very close to the same system, but with different shells. And I think the real driving point for me, and I don't know about you guys, is going to be the games. Period. If I see, and the reason they showed Call of Duty is because Call of Duty does have, it's not exclusive, but it's as close to it as it can be without being an exclusive.
When
All
Xbox
the
gets content early,
right, it gets
Yeah.
it gets it 6 months earlier than PS4 or PS3 as well. So, and they said that is continuing for the next one because they know the biggest Call of Duty community is Xbox. Second, to my knowledge, is PC. Third is PS3. And those are the three major systems it's on. So I think that they're really waiting for E3, and I'm really praying and hoping that they reveal the box office blockbuster, you know, games that are going to make me want to buy that system, because I do like the look of the controller. I do like, the cool little nifty things with being able to use your voice. I do like that stuff, but that stuff is secondary to playing my games. If they come out with a great, awesome Halo, if they come out with, like we were saying earlier, some amazing exclusives, or better versions of this, that, and the other thing, or they haven't even talked about arcade launch titles, or if they're going to have arcade launch titles, or you know what I
arcade
mean?
titles.
Right, exactly, at all. I would assume they're going to, because the arcade made them ass tons of money, and got a lot of developers into the game, which only makes them more money. So realistically, I think that they will, but they haven't even talked about that. So I'm really hoping they come up with something nuts. I hope that they first arcade game, Castle Crashers 2. No one knew about this, blah. I hope they hit us with, you didn't know it, BioShock 4 was already being made. I want something fucking crazy, blockbuster sandwiches that will just slap me in the face and make me go, holy shit balls, there is no other console I want to even talk about right now.
But now let me pose the question to you. Even if they come out with the blockbuster titles like this, are you willing to put up with all the crap and all the DRM and all the stuff they're throwing at gamers in order to do all that?
It doesn't bother me at all. I'm always connected on the internet to my system anyways. I don't play my system if it's not hooked up to Xbox Live, because I'm always playing either with friends or I'm plugged into the internet regardless. For me, DRM doesn't really bug me because I'm always connected to it. If you have those times where your power's out, it's not going to matter. Your system can't turn on. If your internet goes out, you just talk to your fucking provider. That has nothing to do with the system itself. So for me, the DRM shit doesn't matter. When it comes to the used game thing, I'm just gonna have to buy a new game at some point. You know what I
That's
mean?
gonna suck too. If they
Right.
go up to 70 or 65, excluding tax or whatever it is, I'm already pretty tight with what games I buy anyway, and it takes a lot for me to buy one, even if it's used. I can't. I don't even want to look forward to it because when a game is used and you buy it used or whatever it is, the price comes down much faster than a new game. Like even then, there are new versions of games that are still like 25, $20 or whatever it is when I can get it used for 8. And I don't want to be paying these $25 for stuff that I barely want to pay 10 for. So I'm not really excited for that.
So, like I said, for me personally, it's not going to be a big deal. I think for me, it's going to be the driving point is going to be the games. If PS4, or I should say Sony, if Sony at E3 does something amazing like that and says we're coming out with a new Crash Bandicoot, which you haven't seen in fucking years. We're coming out with a Twisted Metal that doesn't suck balls like it did on the PS3. We're coming out with all these great games. I might lean back toward Sony. So I mean, I have a PS3 and an Xbox 360, but like we were saying earlier, I play my games and my online games on my 360. And for my PS3, it's more of a multimedia center for me. I mean, I play a couple exclusives. I have PlayStation All Stars and a couple other games, but really, I play my games on my 360, and I play very not really anymore, but I play quite a few games on PC, excluding League of Legends or I'm sorry, including League of Legends very rarely, and I have Aeon Tech's got me a couple games, emulators, things like that, but primarily I play on Xbox. So I really hope that one or the other. Joe was actually saying earlier that he hopes one of them sucks, so he doesn't have to buy both of them. And
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. I want one of them to be the clear cut choice, so that I can just go, all right, cool, fuck the other one, and just make that decision, and I'm done with it.
Honestly, with me, this is kind of interesting, the point I'm at, where it's like, if they both suck, I'm gonna buy a Wii U and just play Monster Hunter and then play games on my PC. Like that would be the next console I buy, which is really sad because I'm gonna get a Wii U for the same reason I got a Wii in the first place, which is Monster Hunter and maybe a couple Wii exclusives or something like that. But yeah,
I think that's the saddest thing of all, that you have a Wii in the first place.
hey, I didn't pay for
Exactly. I wanted you to tell everyone.
it.
Can I bring up one other thing?
Yeah.
Did you guys mention that Microsoft said that indie developers can't self-publish? Meanwhile, Wii U already allows self-publishing, and PlayStation 4 is going to allow self-publishing.
Ooh. Did not know
So if you're an
that.
indie gamer, Microsoft hates you.
Yeah, that's not really new.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that was Triple Triads. Review, opinion of Doom, of the Xbox reveal, the Xbox One reveal, the Xbox conference, all that business. I am Snipey for free. I make sure not to kick elderly women in the throat.
I'm Shuffle. I am Powerade connoisseur. Shoutouts to Aspelar, Skybane, Tormented Legend, and all my other bros on the Guardians of Middle Earth forums.
And I'm Aeon Tic Tac Tech. I'll freshen your breath.
And I'm a local pinup, and we're gonna see where this goes.
And I'm Joe, and I can't think of anything else to say.
We love you guys. Bye, Internet. We love you. Peace. Bye.
Well, guys, it's been fun. I have to go take a shower now.
You
Ooh,
do that.
girl.